Hey guys, welcome to Potato Reads Reddit. I'm Potato, and today we have 4 juicy stories for you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and that notification bell too. It really does help out the channel. Leave us a comment as well. Let us know what you thought about the stories, and let us know what your judgments are. Alright, let's get right into it. And our first story is from Hoswain. Am I the asshole for not wanting to name my 33 male son Jong-hyun? Alright guys, I'm not just a Canadian potato, I'm also an Atlantic Canadian potato, so there's a lot of Asian dialect in this story, and I would like you to forgive me my pronunciation now. Okay, so let's get into it. My wife, 32 female, and I are expecting our first bundle of joy. We're absolutely thrilled, and I personally can't wait to be a dad. The due date is April 21st. We're from Ireland. My wife has been a huge fan of the South Korean boy band Shinee since 2008. Their music apparently got her through a lot of tough times. Jong-hyun was a member of this group. He unfortunately passed away in 2017. From what I've read about him, he seems to have been an amazing guy. My wife was devastated when she found out about his death and told me that when we have a kid, and if it's a boy, she's going to name him Jong-hyun in his honor. At the time, I didn't really take her seriously. The time has come, though, and she is very serious about it. She wasn't joking. She even picked out the meaning, because it actually depends on the Chinese Hanja characters you use. Jung, lineage, ancestry, clan, ancestor. Hyun, virtuous, worthy, good, able. She speaks Korean, I don't. I love how the name sounds, the nickname Jung and the meaning, but the issue is we're both 100% white. I'm literally blonde with green eyes, and she's ginger with blue eyes and fair skin. Legit as white as they come. I told her that I don't think it's appropriate because we have no Korean blood in us, and she said that it's not a problem since it's cultural appreciation and not appropriation. She told me she doesn't want compromise when it comes to the first name, and I can just pick whatever middle name I want, and she's going to be okay with it. She said that his name means too much to her to give up on it. Her favorite singer and artist, born in the same year as her, our son is going to be born in the same month as him, etc. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I believe I might be the asshole because I'm against a name that my wife decided on a long time ago, and which means a bunch of things to her. OP, you're going to have a white son, and you're going to be living in Ireland, and you cannot name your white Irish kid who is going to be going to Irish schools with other Irish boys a Korean name. That will be a never-ending cycle of bullying. OP, I don't think your wife is an asshole either. I just think she's got blinders on and she's passionate about this, but she needs an eye-opening. And I think that you need to have a serious talk about this because this is not going to go anywhere good for your kid. Maybe compromise and have the Korean name be the middle name, and the first name be your either Irish or English name, but you can't name your kid a Korean name if he's going to be going to Irish schools. It's just a reality. It would be different maybe if you lived in a country like Canada, like where I am, where that kind of cultural appreciation is a little bit more accepted and respected. But even here, I mean, my wife is Vietnamese, and we've discussed this, and we've agreed that we're going to be using English names for our kids, and that's because we intend to stay in Canada. And if we were intending to go to Vietnam and stay in Vietnam, then the agreement would be Vietnamese names. So, OP not the asshole, and I do think you have to have a serious conversation about how cruel young boys are, and how bad this will be for your son if you go through with it. So try and compromise getting a middle name, okay? Alright guys, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below, and we are going to move on to the comments from the post. Serious Rick says, not the asshole. I think maybe your wife needs to stop thinking about what she wants and start thinking about how having a traditionally Korean name will impact your unborn child as they progress through life. Your son would get bullied for that from the first day of school. ProudWorld6241 responds to that saying, absolutely this, your child is not a tool for fangirling. It's a terrible idea to give your Irish child a Korean name because she likes the band. It suggests she has put very little thought into actually being a mom. But even if it was an Irish name, you still both have to like it. Naming your child is always a 2 yeses, 1 no deal, not the asshole. Rage Streak responds to that saying, 100, 100, 100, 100. People use the bullying argument a lot when it comes to stupid names, which is legitimate. But more than that, it's completely unfair to saddle your child with your personal fandom before they're even born. It's pure narcissism. It's appropriate for a cat or a fish, but not a whole-ass human being who hasn't had a chance to establish their own identity yet. We prepare our children for the world, but they don't belong to us. They belong to themselves, and if you name your kid Gandalf or Optimus Prime because it represents your hobbies, you're basically stamping your name on their forehead forever. Wall Hopping Fish says, allow me to butt in with some personal input. I'm a white gay male. My husband is Chinese. We don't have kids yet, but we have many conversations about what will happen when the time comes. As the idealist little white guy I've always been, my instinct was to have a mixed baby. It's always been important to me there be a blood connection. He wants his lineage to end with him. Complex topic for another day. After lots of conversations and debate, we made the decision that the genetic material would come from me and a white passing in this case as our donor is of Polish-Moroccan descent, woman. Why? Very simply because the world we live in is not yet the one we would like it to be. It would be complex enough for our kid having to grow up and navigate having 2 daddies. To impose a dual ethnicity to them on top of that? Being a parent starts before the birth of the child, in being able to put aside your personal wants and hopes, and trying to do what's best for them, not for you, or what you think is best at a specific point in time versus the lifetime of your soon-to-be son. I understand where your wife comes from in wanting to honor an artist whose work helped her get through tough times. But this is not about her or a deceased K-pop star, no matter how much of a great person he was. This is about a kid who will sooner rather than later have to navigate the complexities of life. Don't make him start with an unnecessary disadvantage, not the asshole. Holdfast02 says, not the asshole. Kids' names is a strict 2 yes, 1 no decision. Either parent can veto a name choice, no questions asked. And seriously, don't do this to your child. Kids can be cruel, and being a pale white boy with a Korean name is an invitation for bullies. Paul Hillian says, not the asshole. You both need to be 100% on board with any name you give your child. Perhaps you could give the child his surname, Kim, as his middle name, but I'm a Korean-born adoptee who has a Korean middle name. Incorrect, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. And I was given so much garbage for having a Korean name even though I am Asian. Hooray for white UK middle-class suburbia. So I'd say you should even think carefully about that. Hot Success 7986 responds to that saying, I'm shocked you would be bullied over having a Korean middle name. Sorry you had to go through that. Alright guys, that's it for the comments on that story. Why don't you let me know what you thought down in the comments below and we'll move on to the next story, which was posted by BBDad808. Am I the asshole for getting my son's coach fired? So I, 39 male, have a son named Colt, 14 male, who plays basketball. Colt is good, like really good. So he started his freshman season this year. He was the best player on his junior high team, so the varsity coach was already aware of him. Whenever we found out who the coach was of the VJ team, school doesn't have a freshman team, only VJ varsity, we knew we would have an issue. The coach was my ex-fiance's husband. Me and my ex, Nicole, were engaged when we were 24. We were happy till we learned she couldn't have kids. I always wanted my own kids, so this led to issues. We ended up agreeing to see other people. During that time, I hooked up with my friend Libby. Me and Nicole ended up getting back together a month or so after. Then Libby comes to me pregnant. I decided to break things off with Nicole in order to try to do the right thing and take care of my kid. Well, me and Libby have been together now for 14 years and married for 10. Me and Nicole haven't spoken since. So at first I didn't bring anything up with her husband. I assumed we were all old enough now that things were in the past. But from the first game I've been wrong. Colt has barely played all season. He went from starting a year ago and leading the team to not playing at all. After about 5 games, I went to the coach's office. He said Colt needed to have a better attitude and be more consistent. I asked specifically what drills or aspects he needed to work on. Coach gave some BS, non-informative answer, and I knew then that my ex was doing this. So I went to the school's AD and laid out the situation. Me and him know each other, and he knows my kid. He said he was shocked because he knew Colt was a good player, and this didn't make sense. He formally arranged me and him to sit down on a practice. We did, and it was obvious. My son was drastically better than 90% of the kids out there. The AD told me that he would have a conversation with the coach and would call me. Well, he did, and he told me the coach admitted to it. Admitted that his wife maybe had some influence on his decision, but he wanted to extend an apology. AD asked if I wanted to continue my complaint, knowing that it would mean possible termination. I talked to my wife, and she said that while it was harsh, our son can't get back the first half of the season, and that while it was our kid this time, the next time it might be someone else's, and that this would be a good learning lesson for the coach. So we decided to go through with it, and the coach was let go last week. Our son is now starting on JV and even playing minutes for the varsity. So I thought it was settled until I randomly got a call from Nicole. She was crying and calling me a ton of awful names, saying her husband is now fired, they are going to have to move, and how it wasn't right. I said, there are plenty of JV coaching jobs out there, but get yourself in therapy before you cost your husband another coaching job, and hung up. Did we go too far? Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The coach was probably put in a really hard position, and he definitely will have to get a new job in another district now. OP, I'm gonna go with not the asshole. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, is how I feel about this. Nicole knew what she was doing. She took a gamble on trying to hurt you. I always love the saying, when you seek vengeance, be sure to dig 2 graves, one for the one you seek vengeance on, and one for yourself. And that's what she did. She sought vengeance on you and wound up ending herself. And I see that as just what happens when you seek revenge. So I'm going to go with not the asshole, just a straight up not the asshole. You were kind of an asshole for leaving her because you couldn't have kids. That whole saga that you described there, if we were voting on that, I would call you the asshole because, yeah, you were the asshole in that situation. But I mean, we're talking 14 years past. You were young, you made a stupid mistake. Everything worked out for everybody, it sounds like. She's got a husband. I don't know. You know, it sounds like she wasn't in too bad a situation until she screwed herself out of a good situation. So, yeah, I'm going to go with not the asshole on this. So why don't you guys let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and we're going to move on to the comments from the post. Hashtag I don't know says, not the asshole. The coach was punishing the kid for no reason, and this is the consequence. He screwed around and found out. Love the Bee's response to that saying, yep, and she got her husband fired, not the asshole. No Policy 4095 says, not the asshole. He let his wife lead him by the nose into this mess. Now he has consequences. Edit to add, he got himself fired, not you. The person who you spoke to went and witnessed the behavior firsthand and followed up reasonably. He had a conversation where the coach admitted it. The only thing you did was advocate for your child. Another user responds to that saying, not the asshole. He didn't just hurt one kid. He hurt his entire team because he decided to be petty. I don't know how good OP's son is, but if he's as good as portrayed in the post, the coach could easily have cost his team games by not putting in the best players and allowing his own agenda to take precedence over everything else. Crash SC says, not the asshole. Your ex punished a child to get back at you and her husband willingly went along with it. Sucks it cost him his job, but actions have consequences. Not to mention how restricting Colt's playtime could have affected his ability to get an athletic scholarship if he so chose. Alright guys, that's it for the comments on that post. Why don't you let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and we'll move on to the next story, which was posted by Harley Girlfriend Problem. Am I the asshole for not letting my girlfriend wear her unique dress to a wedding? Throwaway account because she uses Reddit. My, male 25, girlfriend, female 30, Nat, has a very particular sense of style. Picture Harley Finkel from Wizards of Waverly Place. You will get the idea. Don't get me wrong, I never had a problem with that. In fact, I love the way she dresses because she loves to do so, and I am happy if she is happy. The thing is, sometimes she likes to incorporate memes into her clothes. No problem, it's cute, but now she wants to wear a dress inspired on the meme Gay Rat Wedding to my friend's wedding. He and his fiancée are gay. I told her maybe that's not really appropriate. The dress in question would be full of little stuffed rats, pride flags, and a big "I support gay rats" on the front. My friend is not a big fan of the way my girlfriend dresses, and I think this dress may cause a certain uproar in the wedding. Now, Nat is upset with me and claiming that I am throwing water in her flame of creativity. The wedding is next month, so she has plenty of time to think about another thing to wear. Should I just let her go with the dress? Am I the asshole in this situation? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Maybe I am the asshole for not letting her wear the dress she chose to the wedding. OP, I'm gonna go with not the asshole on your part, and you really shouldn't. You will be the asshole if you go to the wedding with her in that dress. Because this event is not about her, this event is not about her creativity, this event is about the couple. And the spotlight needs to be on the couple, not on her. Her creativity needs to be non-existent at this wedding. This is not the place for her to show off her creative skills. This is a place for her to wear a tactful dress or pantsuit, something that is toned down and that blends into the rest of the people watching the wedding, and it is a place to respect the couple, to celebrate their love and their joining, and a place to put the spotlight on the couple. It's all about them, not about her. And she needs to understand that, or else she is going to cause you no end of embarrassment no matter where you go. No, you can't police her clothing. No, you can't make her not wear something. But you can refuse to go to this wedding if she chooses to dress like that because it's disrespectful to the couple getting married. And I think that's basically my opinion on that. So not the asshole. OP, you should really do everything you can to convince her not to wear that dress, and if she insists on wearing it, just straight up tell her then I'm not going to this wedding with you, or at all, okay? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below, and we will move on to the comments from the post. Nelashina says, not the asshole. That's very inappropriate for a wedding, not to mention kinda insulting. Jury No 7670 says, add to it that it completely makes her the center of attention when it should be about the couple. The TARDIS Ran Away says, people need to understand they're basically NPCs at a wedding unless they're immediately close with the bride and groom, and even then, they're just background characters. Not the asshole. Edit. Thanks for the award, kind stranger. Gemma2 says, that seems incredibly inappropriate to wear to a wedding. Edit. Adding judgment for the bot, not the asshole. Strawberry Pesto says, right? It isn't a costume party. Raph says, to be fair, it's not that you aren't letting her. You can't stop her and you're not pretending you can. Nobody can paint you as being controlling in this. All you're doing is telling her how unbelievably crass it would be to wear that dress, how disrespectful it would seem, how poorly it would be received, and overall how much of a weapons-grade flaming asshole she would be to wear it to these guys' wedding. Not the asshole. Holy crap. Does she not see how incredibly dehumanizing and objectifying what she wants to do is? It's a gay wedding. So that makes a meme about rats a good fit? Throw some rainbow stuff at it. The gays love rainbows. Seems to broadly summarize her take. ButtPickles99 says, not the asshole. The wedding is not about her. She should not wear anything inappropriate. A dress with rats and gay pride class is 100% inappropriate. She should not wear anything that will draw too much attention away from the bride and groom. Updated rules of wedding attire. No wearing white, no rat dresses. Can't believe this needs to be clarified. And OP has provided us with an update. Update. Well guys, as many of you pointed out in the comments, me getting a throwaway account didn't help. She found the post. Guess I was too specific after all. I will update soon. Final update. Hello everyone, I would like to thank you all for your judgment, advices, and opinions on my post. It was greatly appreciated. So, the conversation did not go well. She was livid at me for exposing her in this way, and although I showed her the comments, most important the ones from the LGBTQIA community, she refused to admit that her dress was a poor choice, but in fact her way to appreciate the gays. That did not sit well with me. Love can move mountains, but cannot maintain a relationship with a homophobic. So now I am going to the wedding a single, rat-free dress man. I did reach out to my friend and send him this post. He thought the situation to be hilarious, but if she did show up in the dress, he would kick us to the curb. I guess this is all. P.S. I am deeply sorry for misspelling Harpy's name. Won't happen again. Alright guys, that's it for that story. Why don't you let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and we will move on to the next one, which was posted by NoComplaint6419. Am I the asshole for not sharing after they lost their rights? Grandparents had no contest clause in will, and now bio mom and aunt lost all inheritance. For the sake of writing after many deletes, my, 20 male, bio grandparents are my adoptive parents, and I call them mom and dad. My bio mom I call Eve, 35, and bio aunt, Anna, 32. Names changed. So yes, Eve had me as a teenager, but mom and dad adopted and raised me. Mom, 68 female, passed away 2 years ago from breast cancer, and dad had a heart attack 13 months ago and died 11 months ago after 2 months in the ICU. Oh my god, Oki, I am so sorry. In their will, our parents left me 35% of the assets and 30% to Eve and Anna, each, and gifted 5% to welfare organizations. Also, they had a no contest clause. Eve and Anne wanted to leave me out of the inheritance and contested the will. They argued that I'm a grandchild and should not inherit, because every other grandchild was left out. But I'm a full legal child by adoption, so I am equally entitled to the inheritance, which caused them to lose the contest. Where I live, that means you lose every inheritance if the will is valid and your claims are unsuccessful. That has made me the only one who had inherited everything. Eve and Anna are now stressing me and trying to guilt trip me. They have calculated the money and had made many purchases in belief that they would be able to pay off their debts. Well, if they wouldn't have contested and lost, each of them would inherit about $3.4 million US, but now they have nothing. I am very angry of how they treated me in the whole process. They literally tried to deny that dad and mom were my parents, and had a lot of phrases which they used. I told them that I can't care less for them anymore, and they will get nothing from me. I would rather build a pile of money and burn it as a campfire. Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I refused to share the inheritance after I got angry, and that will most likely lead to my bio mom and aunt to lose everything they have because they already spent money which they didn't have. OP, I'm going to say that you were probably more of a child to your parents than your aunt and your bio mom, or whatever, your two aunts. Your two sisters? I don't know how that works. Stepsisters? Whatever. So you were more of a child to them than either of them are, because, I mean, it's not about the money for you. I don't think, anyway. It's not like you contested the will or you tried to get that money. They screwed around and found out. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And also, who pre-spends will money? What kind of macabre, disgusting thing is that to do? If you are going to do anything, take a little bit of the money, not all that they would have been given per the will, but take a little bit of it and put it into a trust fund, an interest-earning trust fund, for the grandkids. And have it payable to them once they're 18, under the stipulation that that they are not allowed to give any of it to their parents. And that'll help pay for, the grandkids' college and secure a future for your parents' line. And I think that might be something that your parents would probably give you a good pat on the back for, as a form of kind of righteous retribution. But I'm going to go with a straight up not the asshole in this. I mean, we are talking about a lot of money, but still, like, again, the no contest clause was in the will. They knew what they were doing. These are big girls. These are adults playing stupid adult games, trying to screw you out of money, and it backfired on them, and I don't think that they deserve anything. At least not for a long time, right? So, not the asshole, OP. I'm going to go with a straight up not the asshole, and we are going to move to the comments from the post. Dazzling Diver 4949 says, not the asshole. Good for you for standing up to them. I wouldn't give them anything either for the way they treated you. And a name that I've seen on here many times now, Good Girls Grace, says, I mean, what the heck? They had $3.4 million each, but blew it due to their own greed? Now they're blaming OP for getting what was legally his? Yikes. Not the asshole. Also, get a financial advisor, OP. All that money at 20 would be tough to handle, and you've just seen how far your own family members will go to get their hands on it. 1. They tried to contest a will with a no contest clause, knowing that losing will cost them their share of the inheritance. That's their choice to engage in reckless behavior. Why they tried to guilt trip OP is beyond me. If you want someone to give you a crap ton of money that wasn't yours to begin with, maybe don't treat them like garbage. 2. They spent the $3.4 million they don't have, even after they know they might lose the thing without getting their hands on it. They gambled stupidly and lost. 3. Without OP's share, they still could have gotten a ridiculous amount of money, which they could use to live a comfortable life with no drama. Instead, they chose to gamble on something that was destined to fail. Seems like Eve hasn't matured out of her reckless teenage days. Grounded55 says, they rolled the dice on $3.4 million? That wasn't enough for them? I am amazed a lawyer took the case. Legally and morally, they don't deserve a dime. Not the asshole, and go no contact ASAP if you haven't already. Ka81 says, rolled the dice on $3.4 million. To split the OP's 35% equals 17.5% each, I would love to know their reasoning or logic for contesting the will. Not Your Average Bell says, not the asshole, but definitely please get a financial advisor outside of the family to handle that kind of money. They will help you decide what would be the best course of action to make sure you reap all the benefits. Good for you for standing your ground. Sorie1999 says, and immediately make a will leaving your money to other people so they don't try to harm you for it. Alright guys, that's all the stories we have for today. I hope you enjoyed them, and thank you for spending your time with me today. You know, this 20 minutes to a half an hour, it really means the world to me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and that notification bell too if you feel like it, and I really hope you have a great day, guys. Alright, bye!